I think there may be some disagreement about whether the subsequent orders should be 60 days in total, or, you know, if subsequent orders of 60 days, multiple subsequent orders can be issued. And so that in total language would make clear that it is 60 days in total, not to be in excess of that. And so that's a decision for the conference committee to make.
Well,
So, Madam Chairman, if I may, I think in the discussion we were having last night, the concept was the governor could come in and do an additional subsequent order not to exceed 60 days.
right, 10 days plus 60 days.
Right? Is that the way? Does that make sense? Yeah.
I mean, that's what the thing is that.
Well, and Madam Chairman, sort of LSO's comments, the question that they had is maybe it's an aggregate of multiples of additional orders not to exceed 60 days. But I think our conversation was he could come in and do a 10, then he can do an additional one not to exceed 60 days. If that's 1 day and it's done fine, that's it. Does that make sense? And so then what does adding in total do to that intent?
Madam Chairman, by adding in total, you're specifying that subsequent orders to the initial order, including potentially multiple orders, could add up to 60 days. And that would be it.
But so it sounds like what you're saying is that in a particular disease outbreak, the governor can never order more than 60 days of order. I don't think I want to go there.
Madam Chairman, I think that is an issue to grapple with. The language provides that subsequent orders for the same or substantially same purpose shall only be issued by the governor for that duration. And so to some extent, the interpretation would come down to what's the same or substantially the same purpose.
Madam Chairman, if I may. So I think in our discussion last night with that language that you have, Madam Chairman, which is a little bit different than yours, Senator, said that for the same or substantially same purpose shall only be used by the governor with consultation provided by the health officer in the language we adopted, and shall be in effect for not more than 60 days, does away with that. I think does away with that thought that within this grouping of 60 days, he could do multiple things.
So I see now Senator Nethergott has also one that says draft on it. How come the senators have one that say draft and the rest of us don't?
Special.
Madam Chairman, there are multiple versions that were requested. So there's the version you requested with the signature lines, and there is another version with draft on the page that includes that in total language at the end.
Who requested?
Is that on the?
In total language.
Who requested that?
Senator Steinmetz.
Senator Steinmetz, and it is not online now.
Madam Chairman,
Senator Nethergott.
I just received this approximately 2.5 minutes ago from LSO, who I believe was requested to draft this at the request of Senator Steinmetz, but I don't have confirmation of that. And so this was handed to me as a part of that request in the hallway. So that's it. I don't really know what it says or does.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, that kind of undoes the thought and the flow chart, I guess. I mean, in a sense.
So the difference on the draft then is that it adds the total, the not to exceed the 66 of the.
So,
Well, it had to be 70 because it have the other 10
the 10
also.
and 60.
right, except that puts, we had said, okay, there's a stop, and that actually then the governor could 5 days later say, oh, we're not done. I need another health order. And what the one that says draft on basically says is that after the 60 days, the governor and the state health officer can no longer issue orders on this subject.
Mhm.
I can't go with it.
Madam Chair, I'm getting used to this formality. We in the Senate like to meet in the hallway. So I thought we had an agreement last night. We do?
Well, we
Troy?
thought we did, but perhaps we hadn't pinned down the language.
I see. Okay.
So what would you like? We can deformalize a little bit if it makes sense. It's just that when we're being beamed, I feel like we should,
We shouldn't be being beat.
well, we are.
It's a terrible idea.
Your thought is being beamed.
It's fine. It's terrible.
Senator McEwen, got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think, we're getting closer. But
Perhaps we should go discuss it in the hall. That seemed to be our most effective and productive rule, the way we've done it for the last 40 years.
Hmm.
Or we
Before
can,
you were born.
before I was born, things were better then.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get Senator Steinmetz. She's probably in there contemplating this school funding.
She is.
It's my understanding that Senator Steinmetz feels it's important for her constituency that the legislature do respond to the concerns and pass legislation. It was also my understanding from last night, the conversation, that there was great hope and we had reached some consensus. And so I think this is for consideration, but I guess the language that she had drafted, do you find it unacceptable?
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that.
I'm not even, for the reason is we are setting a in stone chisel and saying, come hell or high water, you cannot do anything else past that time. I don't think we want to put those kind of shackles.
Yeah. Senator McEwen, your thoughts?
Right, you're the Senate chair. So I guess what I would think is that you can either,
I don't think we're gonna get here with this. So it really comes down to, do we go back to the initial position and then maybe rework the rest of the bill later?
Meeting outside of the 66th session.
Yes.
You prepared to let the bill die?
No, I think we support the bill as it's written. We get rid of the in total language and we move out from there.
I think that's a
so,
great plan.
so in other words, go with this.
Yes.
So Senators, Nethercutt, just for your knowledge, the 2 pages with the signature sheets on, we've got the paragraph with the local and the 40 hours from yesterday. LSO discovered a technical correction, it did just inserting a health district line. And then the changes on page 5 going to, with the changes that you folks had made in the Senate amendments, and then stopping at 60 days. And then we're silent. So whether there were special sessions or other things, or the governor issued another one, it's silent, but at least we've made everything stop at 60 days and everybody's got to think.
I would like to sign that.
I don't have a problem with that. I want to make sure I understand this correctly too. This now gets pinned on governors and county commissioners and not state health officers, as I read the bill.
Right, so I made a flow chart. I'm a very visual person.
I appreciate that.
So the governor is the signatory of state level orders, obviously with massive input from the state health officer, but the governor's signature is there. And then at the same time, or extending past, the local elected officials after 10 days have to vote on whether to extend or issue other orders.
Understand that. My issue is, and I'm not picking on the governor with this bill, as a lot of people kind of jump to that conclusion. That's not why I'm doing this. Yes, sir.
Madam Chairman, and I hope I heard you right. If not, then I'll just shut up. currently, as the law that we're being governed by over the last year, the state health officer has the authority to put these in place. In this bill, we say shall only be issued by the governor. The governor is the one that has the responsibility.
Right.
Not, he consults with the state health officer, but it's him
Right.
as elected official.
And to be clear, just to be clear, this is only for orders affecting people who are not sick.
Who are not sick.
You know, if people have smallpox, the state health officer takes control of them. I mean, just like the state health
Oh,
officer does
understand
now,
that.
right?
Okay, so I'm happy
Wait.
with that.
Did you have a further question on that,
No,
Representative?
I was trying to answer what I thought. I
Okay.
heard you ask.
You
Right.
heard correctly. So basically, the bottom line in the bill is we've moved it at least away from the health officer to the elected officials to be responsible for the decision.
Right, there would be a period, let's just say locally, when in the first 10 days, it could be up to this, a local health officer before the commissioners or mayor or whoever
Yes.
has to step in, right?
So we've at least done that.
I think that's a very significant step,
I do too.
really significant. And actually, I think the 48-hour notice locally will be just, I mean, I think probably people learn that experience, but I think it's probably wise.
And Madam Chairman, also to a point that I think is similar. If you come back to the county this year, during this pandemic, it was the county health officer that had the jurisdiction. And again, we removed that in this new language.
Right.
To say that the commissioners have a say in particularly as this. So we're really putting that burden back on elected officials rather than an appointed individual.
And I like that. Some of the things I heard and what motivated me to do this is the county commissioners would say things like, well, we can't do anything because the county health officer said so.
Of course, they may not appreciate our ladling it right onto their plate, but
Who they choose to blame, who they choose to blame.
It's,
anyway, let's remember, we're,
I will sign that and I would like to do that
okay,
now.
well, okay, are we good with that then?
yeah, let's
Okay.
do that.
So let's see, I have to sign with a red pen, you have to sign with not a red pen.
Correct.
I don't have any pen except for a pencil.
Yeah, mine's
Here,
not.
have a- Have a red pen.
And then there's two
Why don't you
pages,
pass
right?
that? Not just the thing, just pass it down that way, Will. Okay. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, LSO.
Thanks, Ted.
You gotta sign.